Welcome everyone to Let's Talk Real Estate Investing. In this series, we meet with real estate investors and experts in the real estate investing community to talk about strategies. In particular, personalized real estate investing strategies. What strategies are people using so that you can learn from what they're doing. We have tips from other real estate investors and from experts, and we learn from their journeys of what not to do in this series. So I really enjoy speaking to all of my guests and really learning how unique each person is. My name is Debbie Balfour. I'm a real estate investor and I'm a real estate investing success coach. I help my clients as a coach create their personalized real estate investing strategy and scale efficiently so that you can start enjoying financial freedom and time freedom. I think more than anything, when we say financial freedom, we're looking for financial freedom so that we can give ourselves back time to enjoy what we're truly passionate about, which may be our family, our friends, spending time with them, traveling the world, whatever that is. That's what I want to help you to achieve and create that strategy around it. Each of us is unique, and I really think that each of us need to create our own unique strategy. I'm really excited today to introduce my guest, Georges Hanna. George is an award-winning business coach. So I love this part because I'm all about, we can't do real estate investing without the business side. Real estate investing is a business, and we need to, right from the beginning, treat it and create that business in cooperation with our investing stream, whatever that is. George is an award-winning business coach. He's the founder of Smart Income Lifestyle, Inc., and an expert in sales, marketing, and business development. He's originally from Lebanon, but he has made Halifax, Canada, his home. George helps thousands of entrepreneurs all over to grow their business quickly and successfully so they can achieve financial freedom. He's also an expert in real estate investments, and he's created the Investors Magnet Challenge to help portfolio owners and people, right, to involve. Sorry, I'm saying this wrong. To help portfolio owners and people involved in real estate investing to raise capital and attract more investors. Each
That is
of
very
us,
well.
each of us come to a period in our life, whether it's right at the beginning of real estate investing where we may have no money, or we've, used our own money and used it up now and now. So eventually, if you want to build a real estate investing portfolio, you're going to run out of money. So we're all going to have to raise capital at some time. So this is an amazing topic, to talk about. But today we'll talk to George more on we'll get to know more about his journey in real estate investing, and in particular, what he calls the 4 pillars to start and grow your real estate investing business. So enough of me. Over to you, George. Let's talk a bit about, I gave a synopsis about your bio, but let's talk a bit about your real estate investing journey to date.
Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, like the journey started basically 15 years ago with my friends. They started to invest in real estate, but and they started to advise me, George, you have to get in real estate, regardless if you have a job or you are doing a business. And at that time, I didn't understand. I didn't get to understand how it works. And as you know, like at the beginning, you get all the negative. Tenants will not pay you, and you cannot get 2 mortgages, and all the things. You start to get the advice from the wrong people, and you end up stuck with the wrong information and the wrong knowledge. So fast forward, like I say, like maybe I lost almost like 10 years of wasted time, not me taking an action, until I said like there's something has to change, and nothing could change unless I can get the best advice from someone who already did it. So I went and I hired a mentor, and I started. I joined like a an online course and had a mentor, and since then, 2022, it was early 2022. Since then, everything changed. The whole game changed. I said like all the time I have wasted before. I knew like most of the things, but those those tiny like points that connects all the dots together, they came from the course I attended and the mentorship I had. So this is why it is important at the beginning of doing anything, get the advice from the right people and who's done it or who have done what you want to achieve. And literally they take you not only to level two, but maybe to level 10. And just like in 2 years, I have achieved or I started to achieve what I should have maybe achieved like back from like 10 or 15 years ago. So, but like at the end, like there is no kind of regret. Every single day is a great day to start. So even in 2 years, I started the real estate investing journey. I started to invest with the friends, and mostly what I do joint venture. So I don't do everything myself. So I take care of what I'm good at. I'm good with connecting with the people. I'm good with training. I'm good with preparing people to come and invest. I have a friend of mine who is good in development. He loves like this kind of development and taking care of the property and doing the on-site thing. So we kind of like we blended together to like we brought all that experience and skills together, and this is what we're doing right now in terms of real estate investing. So mostly we are trying to have like my goal is to have more multi-family like type of investing, but it is hard with the markets in every single city in Canada to have cash flowing type of things like those multifamily. So we are more like into development right now. Uh, we develop multifamily. We don't buy, even though like that was my initial strategy to buy and hold. Now we develop and hold, most likely the multifamily. Yeah.
That
So
is
this is where it
awesome.
started.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to something you said right at the beginning about your journey and the negativity that you get from people who don't know what they're talking about. And all of us have shared that. And a lot of those people end up being within our own families, right?
Oh, they start with your family. This
You
is
know,
the sad part.
yeah, they think that they're protecting you, and so they give you all this advice. But and so I think we all have shared that. So if for any inspiring real estate investors, don't get don't get down about it. Don't let people put you off from your dream. Go to the right people, like you said. Get a mentor, get a coach, to people to speak to all those people that are doing it, that have done it. And there's a huge community of that out there. Now that
Yeah.
Facebook, since COVID, connecting
Even like,
online has been
yeah,
so,
and
so wide. There's so many communities out there that people can connect and speak to
correct.
people that have done it, right? Like yourself.
Yeah, and sometimes like you like now we are part of a lot of communities, but sometimes even people they don't know those communities exist. And this is what I say sometimes, like it's a responsibility for us to let people know, like those communities exist, like this podcast exists, like someone who's doing it exists. So that will enlighten people to know, oh wow, like this is what is available, and maybe I got or I hold myself back for too long and on the wrong thing. So maybe I need to learn something new. I need to change. I need to think differently. So, one of the things you mentioned, I like in my training, I always ask people, do you believe or do you think that knowledge is power? And I say, raise your hand if you believe knowledge is power. And everybody raised their hand. And then the next question is, what if you have the wrong knowledge? Like the same I did, then the silence happens. Oh, yeah, we didn't think about it this way. Even like the way we think, sometimes we've been programmed in negative way. Not only it comes from the outside, but also we retrain ourselves on so much negativity, which is like doesn't serve us anymore. So
Yeah, definitely. So, get to speak to the right people, speak to the people that have
right.
done it, and, get that advice. And, I think don't cut out the people that are negative to
No,
it, because they are trying to, it's in their way, they're
they
trying
are
to
everywhere.
protect you, but just, take it with a grain of salt and, thank them
Yeah.
nicely, but do your own thing.
Oh yeah, like yeah, knowledge is a power when it is right knowledge put in action. So this is what is
Yeah,
what is important.
knowledge without action has no power.
No, at all. Yeah, just
Definitely.
like
Yeah.
correct.
So, George, there's something else that I know about you, before we get into the four pillars that I'd love you to share, because how many of us have like corporate jobs or other businesses, etc., coming into this, and we think, oh, we don't know anything about real estate investing. That and true, we need to learn those strategies, but then we feel we don't have anything to contribute towards that real estate investing when you're a novice real estate investor. So I'd like you to share a bit about how you use your business coaching business to actually, integrate into
Yeah.
your real estate investing.
Yeah, so what I do the coaching business that I have. Mostly I do training because the best thing you can do with the people is to help them to start think differently, take action in different way. And this is how they start to see, oh, well, like I need uh to see the perspective in a different way. So in the coaching business or the training business, I just like lay out everything like from A to Z how real estate investing works. And the first thing I focus on is you don't need money to start with real estate. You don't sometimes you don't have to have like all kind of skills in real estate to proceed. You should not have like kind of like the connection prior to starting in real estate. And also maybe sometimes you may have resources and sometimes you may not have like those resources. Like those are the four pillars. I'm going to talk about them like in details in a few moments. But at the end, like even if you don't have those, or if you don't have skills in those, like all what you need, just like the right knowledge to start with. And once you have the start knowledge, you start like all of a sudden you feel like so much inspired, and you start to move into action. You start to find the right people with the money, the right resources that they're going to help you to leverage like any real estate portfolio that you start with. You start to find the people with the right skills. You start to find the people with the right audience, with the right partnership. So basically, you can find those, but the most important, the foundation is having the right knowledge and start taking an action. And you cannot do that unless you have a good coach or good mentor to guide you through that journey. And like this is where like I need to focus on the good coach and good mentor because there are lots of good coaches and good mentors. They are sometimes overwhelmed with the number of clients they are serving, and they end up doing the mediocre job. Mediocrity is everywhere. And this is like I treat it as a disease right now. Even in my
Mhm.
training, I say, like, don't go on the mediocre side. Like everybody, everywhere you go right now around you is mediocre and average. Like you have to go beyond and above like the average market in business, in real estate, in mindset, in anything that you are thinking of, innovation, anything that comes to your mind. What is the average in every single market and go beyond that, like at least 10 times. This is how you start to excel. Even if you don't know how to do that, and if you don't know how to get to that level, all what you need to have is not the right answers. What you need to have at the beginning is to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
When you start asking yourself how I'm going to go like 10 times, how I can offer more value, how I can find people with the right money to invest, how I can find the people with the right skills so we can all together build that portfolio that we want to build in real estate or even in business. Because investing, like it is very similar, even though the assets are different, real estate versus business. But the like the way investment happens is very similar on both ways. So once you start to approach things in that way, it becomes much easier to know. All right, now I know at least my path. I know how to put that strategy to make that goal happen, to reach that goal at some point. So I use a training for that purpose. So for people to start to shift their mindset, to shift their perspective, they start to put that strategy. They understand exactly where they want to end up. Because like you'll be surprised. Like when I ask people, like they have a job or they have a business or even in real estate, if I ask them like, what is the goal? Like, what is your purpose? What is the end goal that you aim for? And nobody has a clear answer. Nobody. I'm just like going to job, doing my job every single day so I can retire. But what is the purpose even of my retirement? Like nobody
Like, what
knows.
do you want to do when you retire? What will that
Yeah,
look like? Yeah, exactly.
what is that goal that inspire you every single day to go to your work or to your business or to your real estate
Hmm.
investing business? Like most people, they have no clarity on
I
that.
think about
And
90% of people don't have a clear goal on that. And
no,
that's why you have the top 10% being millionaires and billionaires,
that's
because those
yeah,
are the ones with, those, worthy goals, as
that's
Bob Proctor says.
that's
There.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Bob Proctor. Like, yeah, those,
definitely. So, but George,
yeah,
within your, before you started real estate investing, you had your business coaching, right?
right.
And I know you continue having your business coaching part
Yes,
of it. And what I like about that is that you saw opportunities to help your business, your clients that you're coaching in businesses that have businesses that are not real estate investing, that then but has money sitting in their bank account and now needs another, like those 6 or 7 sources of income coming in.
yeah,
And to say, hey, you've got this money in your business that you're sitting there 400,000 or whatever, that's not making anything in the bank. Here's an opportunity for you to make it. So now you've got your own portfolio of people already
yeah.
to invest in real estate that you can transition over. So, you're bringing those skills and those clients in from your other business into your real estate investing. And I think all of us, maybe some of us don't have a portfolio of people, that's ready to go with that, but we do have like skills from our other careers. But we do have contacts, networks of people too, people that are
Right,
just like us, that are
right.
like struggling in our corporate jobs, that, you can say, hey, you're struggling. I know you hate this job. I know you want to retire. I know you want to do these things. Here's an opportunity for you.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. And this is like my journey, how it started. When I started to like I discovered back from my coaching that the best way I can learn something is when I teach it. So when I started learning about real estate, I said, all right, I have big community of business owners. I'm going to give them just a 4 hours workshop and see how it goes. So I said, all right, it was December, I believe, 2022 when I did this workshop. And I told everybody, this is the workshop about real estate. I'm going to give you like everything I know, like all the important points that at least it gives you how you're going to get started with the real estate. Around like 50 people they joined the live training, and at the end and all what I said, like if you want or you are thinking to invest in real estate, just reach out. And you get surprised like how many business owners they reach out to me after that, like right after the session, like about 4 or 5 people, they reach out with around like $1 million of cash. They like this cash sitting in their bank, like their cash, the cash that they are making from their business, and they don't know where to take that cash, because like the bank will tell you like put it in saving account or mutual fund, or and like even if they tell you that the return is 15%, you don't get the return 15%. On average, you get 6%, and this is without inflation. So if you want to cash your stocks or mutual funds today, you still have to calculate the inflation. With inflation right now is like 5% or 6%, and your average 6% return, like you are not making any money. So who's making the money? The bank. Why? Because they put the money in what? In real estate. Why? Because the return in real estate is tens of times what you make in those stocks or mutual funds. Like nothing against those. Sometimes you need different levels of
Balance the
investing,
portfolio. Yeah.
but you cannot deceive people anymore, especially with those financial gurus, that you can retire with a mutual fund or you can retire with your RSP. Those are just security. Those are not retirement, like retirement mediums, because when you put your RSP, for instance, for any pension plan, what they do, like I live in Halifax. Do you know who owns downtown Halifax? The
Tell
teacher
us.
union, the one of them is the teacher union of Vancouver, the pension plan of teachers of this city, like all those people who tells you that the RSP is going to make you retire. So if the RSP makes you retire, why they don't invest in RSP? Like go to the bank and tell them like give me a business no, loan. I want to invest in your stocks. They will not. They will not give you any cash because there is no asset in there. You're
Exactly.
just trading like this digital currency here and there, and in the hope of the difference at some point the stock will go up and you make like a little bit money. But the like the beauty of real estate is you can calculate inflation and you can calculate taxes. So those you can if you know what you're doing and you have a good bookkeeper, you can write those off and you can take them as an expense and literally you can leverage all the investment that you are doing.
Definitely.
So that takes us back like to that workshop. Like people are hungry. Like people, they need the right knowledge. They need the right information. And since that session, this is why it led me to create the Investor Magnet Challenge. Since that session, like people start to reach out to me because I put on my Facebook. If you go to my Facebook, you can see this is what I do, and people start to reach out for that purpose. Like they know they want to invest in real estate. Some of them they don't have the knowledge and some of them they are not interested like to come and learn all the in and out of real estate.
Hmm.
They have their businesses and they want to stay focused on there. But there is like hunger in the market when it comes to real estate investing because people started to realize that the real assets are real estate, not what all the gurus and everybody is selling them in the market. So
Definitely. So, and many of us, like when we first started, or when, we had this like burning before we got into real
yeah,
estate investing, but we thought that it was only for rich people. We had this myth that's
right.
you had to be rich, you had to be a Donald Trump, to own real estate.
And I had those thoughts. I had those thoughts. I had those thoughts. Like I said, like why? Like yeah. And that goes to the programming. Like you've been trained to think this way.
Exactly. Yeah.
And those people who break through, like we are talking about coaching. Coaching, like for me, it's the highest level of serving people. So when I discovered something, I like to talk about it with everybody. Like those people who made it, like in my church, if I go there, there are many billionaires. They started out of nothing in real estate, but they don't share anything. So they made it. Like
Hmm.
this is great. But like the way I think, I said, like if I am the only wealthy person in my city, like there is no restaurant I can go to, there is no hotel I can go to, there is no waterfront I can enjoy, there is no food I can I can eat. Like you cannot be the only one. Like the more wealthy, the more abundant society that you can create, the more like everybody is enjoying. Like I
Definitely.
enjoy more like if you have a huge community of abundant people and wealthy people instead of you are the like this is some people they make money but they have this kind of poor mindset who like just off of the discussion like one time people ask me or one client asked me like who is the best mentor for you. I said like the best mentor are two, like you have to have like those two things, people who achieve what you want to achieve, which is like very obvious. And I said the second thing, avoid mentors and coaches who don't pay for coffee, like even if they are billionaires, because I see lots of like this kind of poor mindset sometimes.
It's
Yeah, like you
scarcity
make
mindset.
money. Yeah, you
Definitely.
make money and you live
Bored.
on conservation and fear. And like, what is the person like the purpose of all my billions if I cannot like eat or drink or like those basic things or
Or
travel?
share with others. I think our biggest
Yeah,
thing is
let,
giving
let-
back to others,
yeah,
right?
like at least like pay for a coffee. Like this is just
That's awesome, George. So let's get into in more detail. So we wanted to talk about your what you call the four pillars to
yes.
leverage for REI. What are those?
So from the time I started to do business, I know like everything is a system. And basically, even the way we think as human beings, we think in routine, in system, and processes. So those four pillars are the OPM, like everybody knows, like the OPM, or I call them the four OPs.
Let's define what OPM is for new
So
people.
OPM, other
OPM.
people money,
Hmm.
like how I can go and get the other people money. That leads you to the second one, OPS, the other people's skills. So sometimes I need to have some certain skills, and sometimes I have to leverage other people's skills, and we talk about that. The third one is the OPA, the other people audience. Like you should not start with like everything you're doing yourself. Like in business, you don't have time. Like in your lifetime, you don't have time to do everything yourself. Some people they get like the leverage at some point, but like there is no successful company or person like from Jeff Bezos to Facebook founder, like any like even Steve Jobs, nobody was able to make it by themselves. Like in your lifetime, you don't even have time to do everything yourself. You need to leverage other people money, other people skills, other people audience, and the fourth one is other people resources. So OPM, OPS, OPA, and OPR. So this is what I call the four OPs. So if I want to leverage the OPM, so for instance, after this workshop, people they came just after that, like during the workshop, I raised 500,000, and just like one day, it was like around $1 million. So this is other people money. So now, how I'm going to invest that money if I don't have the skills, if I don't have the like the right connection, the right audience to connect with the developers, to like with the right resources to know where I can find those deals. So the OPM will not work unless you leverage the other three. So you need the OPS, the skills, you need the audience, and you need the resources. And the idea is you don't have to have those in yourself. You need kind of like you need to be skilled to find those resources. So you need to be skilled to go and find the right team. You need to be skilled to find like those connections with the right investors. Like this is the OPS. The audience at the end, like you can build a nice building and like with all the projections and everything that goes around that. But like even if you cannot find the audience, that's like those are the tenants. Like your tenants also they are investors. Like everybody who buys anything, who pays you any dime, like they are investing in you before they invest in renting a space or buying a product or a service or whatever they are doing. So even your customers treat them as investors. You are as investor, like you, if you don't invest yourself, you cannot proceed with anything. Your team, you have to invest in your team because I see lots of people, they are afraid, oh, if I train like this, like my team, they may leave me. So why? Like why? Like this is the best thing you can do. People will not forget the good that you did for them. So even if they leave, they're going like even if they're not going to talk about it for all their lives. In the back of their mind, they know the one who changed their lives is you,
Hmm.
and that sometimes is enough that for people to look at you as the leader, as like literally you are someone who elevates people, who elevates not only pure people like humanity but by itself. So invest in people. Like don't be afraid of people leaving you because those are they're going to become the preacher about you. And that happens with my training. Like when people join my training, I don't hold anything back, and this is what I tell them, like right from the beginning, and they know, they see it during the training, and you cannot imagine how many referrals I get from those people because I don't hold anything back. So
Yes.
be generous, like don't be cheap or like afraid or conservation about the knowledge that you have. So and remember one important thing is because we are talking about like about this specific point. People when they learn something from you, like this is the old me. I like I'm thinking if I share like my best secrets and my knowledge, maybe they're going to steal that. And what I'm going to do after that, there are like two reasons why people they are afraid. One, most people they don't create every single day. Like if you steal my ideas today, like I'm done. Like I'm not producing. Like this is all what I have. So, and this is the biggest problem of people. Like they don't work on themselves every single day. They don't grow every single day. They don't learn something every single day. They don't take action, new actions every single day. And this is why they are in the fear all the time that if someone took my knowledge, like I'm done. Like I say, like people who comes to my courses, like take everything. Like even if you take everything from me today, I'm in constant creation right now. The old me, I was super afraid. I want to patent and I want to trademark everything so nobody will will steal my precious ideas. Like that's crazy. Like how we think sometimes about those. But those four pillars or uh, 4 points, we call them w- like whatever we call them. Those are the OPM, how I'm going to get that money from other people, how I'm going to get the skills, the right skills, so I can build the team, I can build the right tenant portfolio for my
Mm-hmm.
real estate investing. Other people audience, like where I can find the tenant, the team, the investors. Like this is where people are. You cannot find the money unless you find those people. So
Definitely.
and the fourth one is the OPR, the resources, how we can leverage all
Other
all,
people.
all those OPs together to
Yeah.
make it.
And I think that the audience one is so important, and people don't realize that you can that like when you have your mortgage broker and they know what you do and you've got a good relationship with them, people come to them with mortgages. They're able to see other people's portfolio they know, and they are able to refer you to them. When you've built that
Yeah.
relationship with your bank manager, when you've built that relationship with your contractor who's working for other people, again, like they know people. When you build that relationship with your property manager, they know that oh, this person's selling a property that you might be
There's
interested in, right? It's
yeah.
just like, yeah, it really opens up
There's
your world.
like just a few months ago, I was reading a book called The Building Empires uh, for Adam Coffey. Like this is a great and an amazing book. And this is like this guy, he didn't build like portfolio in real estate. He was building like businesses. But this is what he said, and this is what we can replicate back in real estate investing. That most people, the majority, like between Canada and the US, there is about, or there are like around 35 million 35 million business owner between small and medium size. Do you know how many they just cross the threshold of $1 million in revenue per year of those 35 million?
How much?
7%. Only 7%. So basically, most business owners, what they do, and I see it also like in real estate. People they go in real estate, oh, I just like create like a little bit cash and that's it. I go like do a business and that's it. So I'm super fine. I'm creating a job. Most people they are just creating a job. They are not creating a business. And most people who are doing real estate investing, they are not creating a portfolio. They are just creating like a couple doors. Oh, and I'm just
It's
having
like
like
a
some
hobby
cash.
more than, yeah,
But
being
yeah,
serious about
so
it. Yeah.
so when you do something, treat it as a business. Why? Because in the book, this is what he says. He says like the private equity firms, like those companies, if you go from $0 to $1 trillion, you have 8 levels, like 0 to 100,000 in revenue, 100,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 10 million, 10 million to. If you go to 1 trillion, you have around like 8 levels. The majority of those business owners they are like below the first level, like nobody even crossing the 100K yet in
Hmm.
business. And this is why like only 7% they cross the $1 million in revenue per year. And this is why the top companies, the private equity companies, and this is we see that in real estate. This is why it is important to build a strong portfolio. Those companies on the top, they have lots of cash. Like for instance, we are talking about the pension, the teacher union, like those they like private equity, they take those cash and they want to invest that money. And they only have what? Only 10 years to send the return back to the pension plan of Vancouver or the teacher union in Halifax. So within 10 years, they have to take that money, invest it, and return it with a profit. So this is why he said those companies, they are in the hunt of successful businesses. And nobody is building a successful business, like a profitable business. All people, they are just like creating those like 100K to 100, like, oh, I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
with that. Said if you learn how to cross the $1 million or the $10 million, or if you learn how to cross like the threshold of building a successful real estate investing company, those companies, they are in the hunt of buying those businesses, and they pay you up to 15 times more than when you're worth.
So not just 10x, but 15x it.
Like way,
Mm-hmm.
like he said, like you cannot imagine
Mm-hmm.
how much they can invest with you. And this is what he said. He said, don't be afraid to buy, let's say, real estate or buy businesses, put them together. Even if it costs you, I don't know, three, four times to buy those, like your aim is to sell at 15 times.
Yeah.
So this is, and it goes back to the limiting mindset that we're having, and getting the knowledge from the wrong people, and not have, like, we are not in the hunt of the right knowledge from the right people, from the right coaches, from the right mentors.
Definitely.
So yeah.
So how would you summarize, your mindset and your, high income skill to be a successful real estate investor?
Like that, like back in the days, I was I was in big confusion between money or passion. And I ask people, like, do you like money or passion? Because that was so much confusing for me back in the days. Because when I hunted money, I hated what I'm doing. I opened a restaurant like 10 years ago. I was making money, but I hated it so much. It wasn't me. So I lost everything. So when I focus on the money, I'm not satisfied. I'm not fulfilled. And when I focus on my passion, oh, I had to do this, like this is my passion, I was broke. I said, like, there's something like I don't understand. I have to put it together. And this is how I understand it. Every single human being, like on this planet, we go through what I call like four levels. The top one is the spiritual. The second is the mindset, the mental. The third is the emotional. This is where the action happens. And the fourth is the physical. So money, real estate, business, all the assets, like tangible assets that you create, this is on the physical. But you cannot create the physical without having the right mental. Like if you don't feed your mind with the right knowledge from the right coach, from the right mentor in the right way, if you don't take action on that, you cannot manifest that in the physical. It will not happen. Or maybe it happens sometimes like randomly, but you don't have an equation, a formula, a system to make it happen
Yes.
every single time.
And it takes longer
So
to achieve.
so mindset is super important. The way I do it is read books always. Like you can find the knowledge, the right knowledge in those books. One, two, take like some courses, and three, once you start to have like those two basic like courses and books, you start to know who are the right coaches and mentors that can help you. The coach will help you accelerate the information that you are learning, because you can learn from books and courses, but you need to accelerate that time. The right coach and the right mentor will help you accelerate that.
I
So this
think the
is this is
biggest
how I
thing
do it.
around coaches that, you and I have spoken about is that, um, a coach, like you can get online courses, like you said, you can get books to get
Right.
knowledge on things, but sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
So what a good coach does is ask you the right questions because you innately have the right answers
Yes.
within you, but you need someone to ask you the right questions. And that's what a good coach does is asks you
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
right? To get you to figure out what it is you need, what it is you need to do, and how you want to do it, right?
Definitely. Yes.
That coach can consult you, can be a consultant to give you some direction, but most of us have the answers within us, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
this is why, like the coach, they have to come with a mindset of serving, not the mindset of this is just a transaction.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I'm with you on 3 months term, and yeah, like I'm just like working to make it happen. Like in the surveying, like this is exactly what how we can help people to unreveal like everything like inside them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. So you've mentioned to me the 7 levels of value creation for any business or investor. What is that?
Yes. So also one of the findings, because like from my experience, like doing business and doing jobs, like every single confusion, I started to say, all right, now I'm going to understand things in different way that's going to serve me. And once I do that, now maybe I put it in a system and I share it with everybody. Like those seven levels and real estate, like investors or partnership is one of them. The first one is execution. Like everybody is at this level. Execution means that you do a job, you do everything yourself. You are a solopreneur. Like either you're doing a business or a job. Basically, you are doing things yourself. So this is the lowest level of doing uh, or the creating like value. The second one, you start to manage. So, all right, like this is how people think. I have a job today. Like my dream is to become a manager, to become a supervisor, to become sometimes even the CEO. Or like this is my dream to have a promotion, either like in my business, in my real estate, or in my career. This is how people think, and this is where everything stops. Like when I had the job, all my dream is to become the manager. So I apply for the management position. I go to the interview. I say like, I don't want it, but this is all what I know. Like, all right, like let's let's become like I go to the interview. I know like this is not what I want deeply, but I don't know what to do after that. But then and I discovered like the other levels. And the other levels, this is when you start to think about, all right, so how I'm going to cross from the majority, the average of like what everybody is doing. And this is when people like you start to communicate, you need to communicate in different way and you need to think in different way. And this is what I call the third one is imagination. Imagination is the highest level of creating value, but it has to become at this level, at level three, because with the imagination you start to discover things. You start to look at things in different perspectives. You start to question everything, to say, all right, like why it's happening this way. So the imagination, this is when you become creative about doing things. So with that imagination, when you start to solve big problem for people, and this is what I see like in business and even in real estate investing, you don't solve a problem that your product only solve. Always go to your audience, to the people that you want to serve, and see what is their biggest problem, solve that, try to solve it, and connect it back to the product or the service that you have. So if I'm doing real estate investing, so what is the biggest problem of tenants, of people, of the like that industry I can help them with, depends on the angle that you want to focus on, and then connect back to like I have development, or I sell houses, or I rent offices, or I rent apartments. So with that imagination, this is where you start to think about way beyond your product and your service, way beyond the business. You start to think about the big problem of what's happening in the market. You solve big problem, because the bigger the problem you solve, the more impact you can create, the more money you can create, the more fulfillment you can have. So the imagination is very important. Number three. After that, the communication. You need to communicate that imagination. So I'm solving a big problem. How I'm going to communicate that. So like those four levels, if you start in the first two, or you don't know how to start with the imagination, start to think about solving big problems, and just like uh, use some channels to talk about that. This is what YouTubers they do. Like good YouTubers, like good influencers, they imagine like they solve big problem and they talk about it, even though they have no product, they have no system yet, or they have no business yet. So even if you start with imagination and with the communication, you can start um, to make it in there. And the top three, it becomes like once you start to communicate how you can solve big problems, this is where the influence you start to get this influence without even working on that influence. People start to look at you as the leader, and after that, it becomes what I call like this is the investor. Now you are not just like working day-to-day job. You are creating assets, and the top one is collaboration or contribution. Contribution is when you are able to give away everything that you own, and you can build it all again, all those six again. So I say, like, if you want to contribute to your community, and you are broke, maybe you can help one person. But if you are abundant and wealthy and you are on the top of the game, like an investor, which is like the top of the game, now we can give away millions of dollars, and you can give away even everything that you have created, and you can build it all over again, and you can impact millions, the life of millions of people around you. So those are the seven levels. I went through them like a little bit quick, but those seven levels, if we think about them, they changed my life, and they start to give me like, all right, like this is the roadmap, this is the strategy, this is how things has to be done. If I have a job, I know where to go now.
Mhm.
It's not only, I should not limit myself on just like being promoted for a manager or property, whatever, like we can call that. So I should go and solve big problems, because this is where the fulfillment is. Fulfillment is from number four to number seven. This is where you find yourself. This is where the passion is. The bottom ones, the first two, this is where maybe you make money, you make, but if you don't have the effort, you cannot feel the passion, you cannot feel the fulfillment, you cannot feel like the impact that you are creating. So those are the seven
I
levels.
love the way you've defined that, because that's, it's exactly my thoughts too, is that as a real estate investor, we shouldn't be doing this just to create money. Because as you said before, it's easy for us to say, well, I don't need that much.
Yeah.
So it's easy for you to put it off, don't do as much, don't work as hard, because you say, oh, I don't, you know what, I set that too high, I don't really
Mm,
need that, blah, 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 right? But when there's a purpose involved, when you're doing it for others, now it feels like you're letting someone down when you've created that purpose. So
yeah.
when you're creating your real estate investing strategy, you think about those things. I love it. Like, use your imagination. What problems are you solving? And those problems might start within your family. Like, your kids are going off to university and there is not good student rentals out there.
Yeah, correct.
So now it's like, oh, I need to find my kid a new, I want my child to have a safe place. Oh, well then all these other parents that I can totally relate to are going to be looking for the same thing. Here's a problem I can solve. So it doesn't have to be like world hunger. It can be
Yeah,
things that are quite
right.
immediate,
That
but now
exists.
you've got that problem that you're going to solve.
Yeah,
Or, we're all like, a lot of societies getting towards being elderly, right? In 10 years, I will be a senior.
yeah.
Um,
And
so in
we
some places, I'm considered a senior right now.
right? Yeah. And especially in Nova Scotia, lots of seniors, they are coming from Ontario, like to retire in Nova Scotia. We
Yeah.
have amazing landscape, and people, they love
But
the
now we
community.
have the problems that come with a senior
Correct.
population. How
Yes.
can we solve it as real estate
Right.
investors? There's so much, and I love what you
There's
said about tenants, etc. Because as a real estate investor, there's so many people we can actually help. There are
there's
tenants we can help. There are other people to help them make money, right? So they're like joint venture partners or investors, etc., that want passive income. So we can help others make money. We can provide safe, clean, beautiful places for
You
tenants.
said it. You
Um,
said it. You said it.
right?
There is a company here in Nova Scotia. They are like, they started in Nova Scotia. They are in Nova Scotia and Manitoba right now. They are in real estate, and this is exactly what they are doing. Exactly like the way you mentioned. Their name is Vida Living. I'm not sure like if you are aware of them. They started like back in the days, I think 10 or 20 years. And this is exactly what they do. They don't just like tell you come and rent from us. So what they offer affordable housing. They say, all right, like what people in affordable housing, like they want in the first place. In affordable housing, people, they cannot afford like fixing sometimes, maybe, or going to a dentist. Do you know what they did?
But
They give to their tenants like a kind of like this benefit plan, and dentist is one of them, like dental benefit. Like if you rent from them, you get the dental benefit. Like they blew my mind when
wow,
I
that's
read that, and
amazing. Like,
because they
yeah.
understand their audience, they understand the bigger problem of their audience. And
Mhm.
it's not only about the audience, because the dental benefit will not be activated unless what? You pay on time. So now they are solving their biggest nightmare, especially in Nova Scotia. You cannot evacuate someone until like 6 months or 8 months if you're
Oh,
lucky.
it's even worse
So
here in BC and in
we're very
Ontario.
good. Only in New Brunswick, I learned like in New Brunswick, like you can like like they only get like you can do it in 30 days. But the idea is once you understand your audience, you give them what they want. And even though they go beyond the dental benefit, they say if you don't have money, the same way what you are mentioning, Debbie, you don't if you don't have money, come work with us. Like we have cleaning job, we have landscaping job, we have painting jobs. If you get a promotion, let us know. We give you a discount. Why? Why, if you get a promotion or you buy a new car or do something new, they give you a discount? Because you are telling them I'm making money, so I can afford to pay on
To
time.
pay my
So
rent.
yeah, like why they need to fight with their tenants if they can promote, if they can incentivize their tenants and they can solve the problem of the tenant and their problem as landlords. So this is like we need to have imagination. We need to be creative. We need to solve big problems. When you solve the big problem of your audience, that audience will help you solve your big problem as
Yeah.
landlord or business owner or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. You need to understand who your ideal client is. You
Right.
need to talk with your ideal client and ask them what keeps them up at night.
Definitely, yes.
Right? Around what you're doing, and
Yeah.
then like you said, solve it for them.
Right.
This, I love speaking to you, George, because it's
Mhm.
like
Okay.
you're on my wavelength. You're exactly what I think of. But I love that you actually have a system set up
Right.
around it, so it makes it very clear, very specific. So we could talk forever, but we'll have to wrap this up. um uh, how can people get a hold of you, George?
Yeah, like in my social media, the handle for all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even YouTube is at Coach Georges Hanna. So at Coach Georges Hanna. Like all my social media and my YouTube have this handle. My website for now for this challenge is investorsmagnetchallenge.com, investorsmagnetchallenge.com. So we can reach out on any and like any channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, anything works. Just reach out, and I love to speak with people.
And you wanted to offer a freebie for the audience that are listening to this podcast.
Definitely,
So what is
definitely.
that?
Like I can offer like free consultation for business and also for real estate investing, even like how to run a real estate investing as a business. Because without business skills, you cannot even proceed much with real estate investing because real estate investing is a business, pure business. So I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody who is listening to this podcast. And also on the other side, like if there is like demand, like I'm willing to do a half day workshop at no cost with literally how you can run a real estate investing as a business. So we talk about the pillars of how you can reach out to people, the four pillars, the OPM, OPS, like the ones that we spoke about. And there are like a couple systems that I run my business through. We can talk about those in that, but I will leave that for you to organize, and I'm super happy to offer it as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, George. Really,
Thank you.
really loved today's conversation. Loved all the tips that you share. I'm sure that so many people will get lots of, little nuggets from it. And remember, everyone, everybody out there has got very similar ideas from you. The difference between you and other people is if you implement on your ideas, because a lot of people have those ideas but don't implement on them, right? So I think that's a lot of what George has been saying
Take
in,
action is
don't
the
be
best
free
action.
with your information, share, it comes back to you. Use your imagination, share it before you even build a system, because just because you're sharing it doesn't mean people will take your ideas, because they won't know how to implement on it.
Right.
So wonderful.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Thanks
much.
for
You
having
have a
me.
wonderful rest of the week, George. Take
You
care.
too. Take care. You too. Thank you.